Marie-Josée Blom-Lawrence. As the creator of the Smart Spine and the Smart Spine product line, I would like to welcome you with this DVD to explore the multitude of possibilities and applications integrated in the program manual and product protocol. Making movement easy while putting ease in your movement. As a master teacher of Pilates for decades, this is the cornerstone of my teachings in movement. The combination of my passion for teaching and the fascination with the function of the spine led to the development of our Smart Spine products. The Smart Spine products evolved from the inspiration fueled by my daily work and interaction with clients and students. Working with very different bodies requires a unique approach for each individual with one common goal: movement ease in a better body. The creative search for the right tool to help facilitate optimal movement and mobility of the spine resulted in the ultimate workout companion and teaching aid, the Smart Spine. As the designer of the Smart Spine, I invite you to rediscover and love your back again. As instructors or teaching professionals, allow our products to inspire you to a higher level of teaching. Use it at home, use it in the studio, or use it while you travel. Remember, we've got your back. I do advise before beginning any exercise program that you consult with your healthcare provider. I hope you do enjoy the Smart Spine products as much as my clients and I do. Organize the Smart Spine on the floor, on the mat or the trapeze table and evenly distribute the contents. The Smart Spine should be facing label side up, as this side has a groove that is designed to accommodate the spine. Chapter 1. Posture Play. Exploring the spine. Lie on your back on a flat surface with your feet flat on the floor in line with the pelvic bones. Check the areas of the spine that should, without effort, ideally be supported by the floor. These points are the backside of the sacrum and pelvis, S2, the backside of the solar plexus, T8, the base of the head, occipital base, the tip of the tailbone, and then gently sink the femurs into the hip sockets. The golden rule for preparing for any successful exercise program: when the bones cannot yet reach the floor, level the floor to the bones. Ease in neutral alignment is accomplished by adding support and eliminating gaps. Smart Spine pillowing is a message to support and increase body and alignment awareness. This stimulates the electrical signals to the brain via proprio and thermoreceptors into new positional awareness. Following this rule assures functional alignment support and programs the release of the tight musculature due to poor postural and occupational habits. Creating supports from head to tail leaves no room for movement fail. Let's look at the various typical alignment flaws. Number 1, the head shear forward or jutting chin. This head posture needs to be supported and adjusted from the entire shoulder girdle, in more severe cases, or just from the base of the head with just a little forward head position. As a general postural guideline, lying down the chin should never be higher than the forehead. Here's the Smart Spine solution for the forward head shear. Here we are using the Smart Spine and the Pilates posturing pillow. The client is pillowed forward and supported from the shoulder girdle up. The cervical disc may be used for support for the base of the head, fine-tuning the head position. Your dynamic alignment cue: the sternum falls away from the chin base as the base of the head reaches away from the mid-back. Let's look at the protruding rib cage or rib flare. This posture often indicates shortness in the muscles alongside the spine. There is too much compression. The spine lacks mobility and optimal length. There is little access to deep abdominal strength. This posture also reflects shallow breathing patterns with too much pelvic floor pressure when forced during exercise. Here's the Smart Spine solution for the protruding ribcage. Using the Smart Spine and the Pilates posturing pillow, the client is pillowed forward from the mid-shoulder girdle. To melt and release the sternum, we are using a sacral wedge. Place the Smart Spine sacral wedge on the sternum, the tip pointing away from the chin base, reminding the body, with the assistance of the warmth, to release the chest and open the mid-back. Posterior pelvic tilt is yet another compensation flaw. There is no space between the floor and the lower back. There is lack of creasing or fold in the hip region, and the chin often reflects a position higher than the forehead. The posterior pelvic tilt may present itself in two different postures: the flat back position versus the sway back position. Either posture will reflect slightly different muscular compensations. Here are our Smart Spine solutions for the posterior pelvic tilt posture. For alignment support of the head and neck, use the Smart Spine head and neck cradle, specially designed in a donut shape, which allows for precision in fine-tuning in alignment. For the release of the hips and the gluteal muscles, or butt gripping, place the base of the Smart Spine sacral wedge under the sit bones and allow the sit bones to meet the wedge. For melting the hips, place the Smart Spine horizontally over the knees to feel the femurs sink in the hip socket. Gently draw the knees towards the hip sockets, as the femur heads love to live close to the spine. And last but not least, the anterior pelvic tilt. Lying on the back, the pelvis will show an anterior pelvic tilt with too much space between the lumbar spine and the floor. Even the thoracic spine may be lifted. Often a flared ribcage will be present with a shortening of the back muscles. The chin juts forward with the head tilted back. The anterior pelvic tilt may present itself in two different postures. The anterior pelvic tilt with a lordotic curvature in the lumbar spine versus the anterior pelvic tilt with a marked kyphosis. Either posture will reflect slightly different muscular compensations. Here are the Smart Spine solutions for the anterior pelvic tilt. Pillow the upper back and head forward so that the thoracic release is achieved through slight flexion of the upper back and thorax. For pelvic and lumbar spine organization, adjust the pelvis in a neutral position and fill the residual lumbar space in with the Smart Spine sacral wedge for optimal lumbar alignment support. For cervical support, position the head and neck cradle to fine-tune the alignment. For hip flexor release, a warmed Smart Spine may be placed across the hip crease. This also contributes to recruiting the deep abdominals.
Chapter 2, Core Progressions.
A simply challenges approach to breath control and awareness. Organize the Smart Spine on the floor, on the mat, or the trapeze table, and evenly distribute the content. The Smart Spine should be facing label side up, as this side has a groove that is designed to accommodate the spine. In supine position, lying on your back, ease your spine into the Smart Spine's groove. The Smart Spine cervical disc may be used for additional alignment support for the base of the head. Breathing focus. Place one hand on the sternum and one hand on the belly. Allow your breath to follow the full length of your spine while dropping your belly and sternum away from the hands. Remember, inhalation lengthens the curves of your spine. Then exhale, allow the muscles of the back to melt into the Smart Spine. Inhale, send the breath into the cells or walls of the Smart Spine, and exhale to allow the back of the ribs to fall towards the spine. Inhale, send the breath into the warmth of the Smart Spine, that is, if you have used it warmed up. Exhale, allow the sternum to drop away from the chin base, a very important cue to open the mid-back. You may use the sacral wedge to emphasize this. Exercise 2, breathing into the back. In prone position, place the Smart Spine across the lower part of the mid-back, thoracic spine. The gentle weight on the back directs the breath peripherally away from the center of the spine and out of the Smart Spine via the handles, directing and feeling the breath. Inhale, meet the weight and width of the Smart Spine. Exhale, slide the back side of the deep abdominals in and up towards the Smart Spine on the back. You may move the Smart Spine a few ribs down and repeat the breath cycle. Exercise 2A, the breathing wave, or discover the full length of the spine. In the same position as the previous exercise, prone, place the Smart Spine lengthwise over the entire spine, from sacrum to the base of the head. Inhale into the entire length of the Smart Spine. Exhale, elevate or slide the back side of the abdominals up towards the Smart Spine on your back. In the breathing wave, the movement of the breath ideally begins at the sacral base. Exercise 2B, seated breath and alignment support, the breathing pole. In a tall seated position, feet supported, distribute the weight equally via the sit bones into the Smart Spine groove. Position the pole alongside the entire spine from sacrum to base of the head. The client holds the pole, elbows on a forward diagonal. Place the Smart Spine Smart Globe on the crown of the head. Inhale into the height of the spine alongside the pole. The sacrum lifts the weighted crown. Exhale, deep abdominals lift up as the sternum falls away from the chin base. New height is reinforced. Now experience the new height and lightness in your standing position. Exercise 2C, Smart Spine and the Spine Corrector. Breathing, alignment, and the melting shoulders. The sit bones, equal weight distribution, are positioned in the well or crease of the spine correctors. The legs are over the barrel arc. The sternal manubrial junction is in line with the pubic bone. The shoulders align directly above the hip bones, femoral heads. Use 2 smart spines. Drape the 2 smart spines, one over each shoulder, equal length on both sides. Breathing and posture. Inhale into the length of the spinal curves. Exhale, sense and maintain the length while the shoulders fall down the back. Maintain this posture during the following inhalation. Exercise 3, the breath and core alignment challenge. Ease your spine into the smart spine groove. Knees are bent with the feet flat on the floor. Arms are aligned with the body. Ribcage arms. Inhale through the back side of the ribs. Exhale, engage the deep abdominals, maintaining the neutral spine. Inhale into the length of the spine, reaching out and up through the fingertips. Exhale, arc the arms up and back to about 60 degrees while maintaining neutral spine. Avoid any positional changes in the back. Inhale into the back to prepare the return of the arms on the exhale. Repeat 3 times, increasing the arc, aiming to align the arms with the ears. Exercise 4, the pelvic series. Use a single smart spine track or use the arched tabbies. In this case, we use the arched tabbies and the cervical disc. In supine position, on your back, ease your spine into the smart spine groove. Knees are flexed, feet flat on the floor. When using the arched tabbies, place on either side of the sacrum. Pelvic clock. Pubic bone represents 6 o'clock. Inch above the navel represents 12 o'clock. The right pelvic bone represents 9 o'clock. And the left pelvic bone represents 3 o'clock. Explore the movement in each direction individually. Combine the movements clockwise, then counterclockwise. The pelvic clock may be practiced with the smart spine arch tabbies alongside the sacral base, or a single ball directly under the sacrum. Exercise 4A, pelvic curl or hinge. In supine position or lying on your back, ease your spine into the smart spine groove. Knees are flexed with feet flat on the floor and aligned with the pelvic bones in front. Arms align with the body. Inhale, begin to rotate the pelvis back, pelvic wheel. Exhale, continue to curl until ribs, hips, and knees are aligned. Inhale into the length of the curves of the spine. Exhale, lower the spine into the track, 1 vertebra at a time. Use the smart spine handle to introduce light traction into new length of the spine. Repeat this exercise sequence 2 to 3 times. Pelvic curl or hinge with ribcage arms. Inhale, begin to rotate or hinge the pelvis back, pelvic wheel image. Exhale, continue to curl until the ribs, hips, and knees are aligned. Arc the arms overhead until aligned with the ears. Breathe into the length of the curves of the spine. Exhale, draw the sternum away from the chin base, lowering the spine into the track 1 vertebra at a time. Repeat this exercise sequence 2 to 3 times. The Smart Spine track here guides and organizes the spine during the movement while promoting optimal length through eccentric abdominal control. The cervical disc is used to accommodate head shear postures. In the pelvic lift series, make sure to evaluate whether head alignment really calls for its use. Exercise 4B, pelvic curl with traction focus. Here we use 2 smart spines under the back alongside the spine, starting at the mid-back level. Anchor the heels into the handles with a slightly dorsiflexed foot. Maintain a light pull during the pelvic curl progression as in the previous exercises. Using the 2 tracks emphasizes breathing, traction of the spine, and emphasizes hamstring strength. The double track traction prevents bridging to the neck region and reinforces alignment through abdominal control. The peripheral contact releases restricting back muscles. Integrated core sequence, exercise 4C. We use the push-through bar. We combine the movement of the previous pelvic curl or hinge, the rib cage arms, and a combination of abdominal curl choreographed in one fluid motion. While the Smart Spine here is guiding the spine, the push-through bar will provide the resistance and the added challenge. The use of the Smart Globe integrates the pelvic floor into the movement sequences. Initiate the abdominal curl from the base of the head, followed by drawing the chest away from the chin base. The vertebrae of the mid-back will sweep the floor up and away from the shoulders. The handlebar here may be used to assist length traction. Inhale, rotate the pelvis back, vertebra at a time until aligned. Exhale, perform a rib cage arm movement, taking the bar through, keeping the shoulder blades aligned and stable. Inhale for length. Breathe out, dropping the sternum away from the chin base. Sequentially, take the spine down in the track. As the arms continue forward, rotate the head forward and arc into an abdominal curl. Inhale for extra length and breathe out to return to position. Core progressions, abdominal series, trapeze table or mat. Exercise 5, connecting the deep abdominals. Ease your spine into the Smart Spine groove, label side up. Option 1, place the Smart Spine sacral wedge with the base near the crease of the hips and the tip directed to the sternum. Sneak the abdominals up from under the Smart Spine or the sacral wedge. Imagine the abdominal pull to be an undercurrent of the wedge. Maintain this feeling during the following inhalation. Option 2. Place the Smart Spine across the pelvis for deeper abdominal awareness. Option 3. Place the Smart Spine on the knees to sink the femurs in the hip sockets. The sinking of the femur heads unite deep abdominals, multifidus, while releasing the hip flexors. Exercise 6, basic abdominal curl with Smart Spine Globe, and light traction. Inhale into the length of the spine, the back side of the ribs, as the ear wheel begins the movement forward. Light traction may reinforce the length of the upper back. Exhale, drop the sternum away from the chin base, curling forward. The vertebrae that remain on the floor slide the floor away from the shoulders. Exhale, gently pull the abdominals up from under the wedge or smart spine while lowering into the smart spine one vertebra at a time. Exercise 6A, leg levitations. Focus here is hip glides and deep psoas connection. The smart spine, warmed, may be used as a hip wrap during this exercise to promote hip tension release and deeper, smoother movement. Inhale, sink the femur to initiate levitation of the leg. Stabilize the pelvis to levitate the second leg. The abdominals control the pelvis and the spine. During the repetitions, no changes in the spine in relationship to the floor should happen, and the pelvis is stabilized by the deep abdominals. Other than alignment guidance, the smart spine provides slight stability challenge to the core systems. Exercise 6B, hip extension, pelvic stability. The leg slides. Inhale into the length of the spine. Exhale, slide the leg away from the sit bones via hip wheel. Inhale, keep the spine long. And exhale, begin to slide back. With the knee first, the hip follows and the femur sinks. The smart spine, warmed, may be used as a hip wrap during this exercise to promote hip tension release and deeper, smoother movement. This sequence is a preparation for reformer leg work. Trapeze table, roll down bar. Spinal articulation through abdominal focus. Exercise 7. Movement 1. The sacral wedge. Begin this exercise with the smart spine sacral wedge only first. This encourages the lumbar articulation from the sacrum. Allow the sacrum to begin the movement until in touch with the wedge. Shoulders stay in line with the hips as long as possible. Return to the seated position, leaving the sacrum on the wedge as long as possible. Abdominals lift the sacral base. Inhale, lengthen the spinal curves. Allow for the sacrum to begin the movement. Exhale, roll the spine sequentially down, partially to the mid-back or to a complete roll down. Exhale, segmentally roll the spine forward to starting position, keeping the lumbar spine into the sacral wedge as long as possible. The sacral wedge promotes mobility beginning close to the sacral base and the lumbar spine. Using the smart spine in combination with the Pilates posture pillow will guide the entire spine into sequential movement. Inhale into the length of the curves of your spine. Exhale, allow the sacral base to meet the smart spine first, followed by the lumbar spine, the ribs, the mid-back, and the base of the head. Breathe in for extra length as the ear wheel begins. Drop the sternum away from the chin base and continue rolling forward. Allow the abdominals and sacral base to lift the spine until the shoulders are aligned directly over the hips. Repeat this sequence 2 or 3 times. The smart spine on the reformer. Abdominal work. Exercise 8. abdominal curl, mid-back focus. Place a single Smart Spine lengthwise on the reformer. The Pilates posturing pillow may be used in between the shoulder rests if alignment needs it. For instance, protruding rib cage, tight upper back, or neck tension. In this case, the Smart Spine is organized on top of the pillow. Position the legs in the 90-90 position and the arms directly above the sternum. Inhale. Arc the arms to the open position. Carriage does not move. Exhale, begin the shoulder girdle movement via ear wheel image. The elbows lead the mid-back into the curl. Inhale, increase the length in the spine, may be assisted by directional pull on the handle. Exhale, lower the spine sequentially. Arms stay behind until mid-back arrives, then they follow the spine. For more challenge, perform the abdominal curl with leg extensions. This provides a long lever challenge to the deep abdominals. Foot and leg work. Exercise 9. Double track, breathing focus. Organize 2 Smart Spines on the reformer carriage. The Smart Spine handles slip over the shoulder supports. Arrange the filling evenly away from the front and fold the ends under. Double Smart Spine track benefit. The double track will direct the focus to breathing technique and will promote a release of the restricting and tight musculature in the back. Inhale into the Smart Spine cell or wall. Breathe out to organize abdominal and lumbar spine connection. Inhale, initiate the extension movement from the backside of the hips, knees, light feet. Exhale, initiate flexion first at the knee joints. Delay the hips as the spine stays behind, knees, hips, with more foot support. The Smart Spine may be used over the knees to sink the femur heads closer to the spine to release gripping in the hips. In the extension, the Smart Spine draws focus to prevent hyperextension of the knees. Smart Spine may also be positioned right in front of the gluteal crease to draw the attention to the hamstrings. The Smart Spine may be draped directly over the pelvis to improve abdominal focus and hip tension release. Single track, alignment focus. Organize the Smart Spine in the center of the reformer carriage. Fold the end under towards the springs. The single track will direct the focus on the alignment and organization of the spine. Here, the handles may be used to assist in sensing the length of the spine, assisting traction. All foot position variations according repertoire are suitable with Smart Spine work. Single leg positions, however, challenge more core stability. Hip joint work. Exercise 10, hip glides from the knee stretch series. Place 2 Smart Spines on the reformer carriage. The Smart Spine handles slip over the shoulder supports and may be arranged closer or farther apart. Arrange the filling evenly away from the front and fold the ends under. Place the knees into each Smart Spine groove, aligning exactly with the front of the pelvic bones, ASIS. Place the hands against the foot bar and shift the weight to arm length away towards the pelvis. Elongate the spine away from the mid-back. The feet are positioned against the shoulder rests. Inhale, the hips extend, knees behind the sit bones, stable pelvis. Exhale, the hips crease, pelvis and sit bones reach back opposite the shoulders. Pelvic series, pelvic curl, exercise 11. Organize the smart spine in the center of the reformer carriage. Arrange the filling evenly, more towards the head if a little more support is needed for head alignment. Fold the end under near the springs. Head support in flat position. The heels are placed in parallel position on the foot bar. The use of the Smart Globe will integrate pelvic floor. Inhale, wrap or rotate the pelvis around the stable femur heads. Exhale, continue rotation into a sequential lift of the spine. The vertebrae still on the carriage, sweep the smart spine towards the feet. Inhale for more length into the curves of the spine. Exhale, draw the sternum away from the chin base. Lower the spine sequentially. Allow the tailbone to drop. During this sequence, the carriage is not moving. During articulation of the spine, the smart spine floor is moved towards the feet. Foot strap series, short spine massage, exercise 12. Inhale, lengthen the spine in the smart spine groove towards the foot bar while the legs fold back, hip crease. Exhale, the pelvis follows the feet as the vertebrae peel out of the groove sequentially. Inhale, fold the legs into the diamond shape. Exhale, allow each vertebra to find a groove, maintaining the length in the spine. The feet follow the abdominals. Head and neck alignment may be supported by using the Smart Spine head and neck cradle, just with the headrest in a flat position. For short spine massage, keep the filling evenly distributed and make sure the headrest is in the lowered position. Hip glides with Smart Globe challenge. The Smart Globe may be added in between the ankles to challenge the following movements: bend and stretch, parallel plie, pendulum, and double leg circle. This provides long lever abdominal control and engages pelvic floor. Seated work on the reformer, posture challenge, long box, short box. Chest expansion, exercise 13. The sit bones are organized exactly in the groove, guiding alignment in the rest of the body. The feet are positioned on the headrest. Inhale, lead the shoulder girdle into extension via elbow mid-back connection. Exhale, allow the sacrum to elevate the spine as the shoulder girdle returns to flexion. Short box work, Huggetry. Organize the smart spine across the short box and face the reformer foot bar. The sit bones are organized exactly in the groove, guiding alignment in the rest of the body. Inhale, arc the arms around, initiated from the mid-back. Exhale, open from the center of the collarbone. Smart Spine and Wunderchair, Posture Challenge. Exercise 14, foot and leg work. Use the Smart Spine for alignment and pelvic floor focus, Magic Circle for mid-back connection, and Smart Globe for pelvic floor integration. Place the Smart Spine in the width, close to the front of the chair seat. Distribute the weight of the sit bones equally into the groove to find the neutral pelvic position. Inhale while pressing down. Lengthen the spinal curves. Initiate the down movement via the hip extensors. Light feet. Exhale, control and decelerate the return movement via hip glide into the sockets with deep abdominal control. This sequence may be repeated in Pilates first position, heel position closed, toe position closed, tendon stretches, and single leg positions provide more postural challenge. While at home, in the office, or on the road, create your own Wunderchair. The groove in between the cells may accommodate and guide optimal postural awareness twofold. One, by placing the Smart Spine horizontally on the sitting surface. The sit bones are organized exactly into the groove. This places the pelvis in neutral position in relationship to the hips and spine. The shoulder girdle is aligned directly above the pelvis and the spine is lengthened in between. This effort improves postural awareness and proprioception while making all the components of posture work. Vertically over the back of a chair, the spine will be guided by the groove from the sacrum, base of the spine, to the upper middle back, improving alignment awareness to ensure optimal sitting posture. This makes sitting a dynamic event. Baby arc and spine corrector. Articulated spine extension and core abdominal control, exercise 16. Here, the Smart Spine illustrates the numerous variations possible, single track or double track, in use with the arc and spine corrector. As Smart Spine is a learning or support tool, I used the short box here to illustrate a modification. Smart Spine and Reverse Abdominal Challenge, Exercise 17. Place a Smart Spine over the barrel arc. Sit in the spine corrector well, back against the barrel arc. Pull the Smart Spine up alongside the spine and breathe into the full length. Inhale to lengthen the spinal curves. Exhale, curl back sequentially. Focus on lengthening of the spine throughout the movement. Inhale, maintain the length of the spine. Exhale, arc the upper body back to starting position, leaving the lower back behind as long as possible. Inhale to a tall upright position, supported from the sacral base. Smart Spine and Therapeutic Integrations. Exercise 18, the clam sequence. The Smart Spine may be used under the waist for alignment support. The Smart Spine may also be used as a full hip wrap to release overactive hip muscles while activating the deep gluteus and/or deep back muscles, multifidus. Abdominals will be lifted away from the bottom Smart Spine or sacral wedge placed under the waist. In the movement, lift the knee with contrast of internal rotation guided via the Smart Spine. The wrap enhances deep gluteal effort, excluding piriformis dominance. The movement progressions demonstrated lead into the traditional side leg lifts. Hip flexor release. Exercise 19. Drape the Smart Spine around the hip in a sling-like fashion. The combination of warmth and light pressure surrounding the hip joint promotes smooth movement and directs the movement to the deeper levels while promoting release of the restricted, tight structures. The Smart Spine may also be placed across the pelvis to downtrain hip flexors of both hips. Smart Spine Arch Tubbies. Exercise 20. Foot-body connection. In a standing position, place an arch tubby under the forefoot. A sliver of the arch tubby should be visible. Adjust the alignment by placing the other foot directly next to it. Equally distribute your weight of the body through both legs. Move the arch tubby after 1 minute towards the inside rear foot and add another minute. Massage the foot over the arch tubby and compare to the other foot. After completing this sequence, bend the body slowly forward and touch the floor. Notice the difference in hamstring length and the flexibility of the lumbar spine. Arch tubbies are designed with a dual function in mind. The first is for strength, health, and support of the arches of the foot. The second, improved function and proprioceptive awareness to relate the foot to the entire body. The arch tabbies improve awareness, mobility, support, and local release of the spine, the sacrum, the mid-back, shoulders, and neck. Like other products in the Smart Spine family, the arch tabbies may be warmed in the microwave or cooled in the freezer. The uses include exercise class, at home, for travel, by car and air, and of course for the office. All Smart Spine products can be used for a group class setup, such as Pilates, yoga, meditation, Feldenkrais, and pre- and postnatal classes. Special features of the Smart Spine. Feeling the potential length of the spine. The Smart Spine is designed with a strong handle on each end. The handles provide for an option to assist in lengthening the spine in either the direction of the pelvis or the direction of the head. The gentle traction may be provided before movement instruction or may assist during the movement instruction. The handles also function as an aid for skill-specific movement guidance, such as pulling out and up during an abdominal curl and pulling out during a pelvic curl. The client will be introduced to sense the optimal length potential of the spine. This feeling will be registered via electrical impulses in the postural memory bank. The generous infusion of precious food-grade organic lavender will be activated by warming as well as by cooling and by body temperature during use. The calming effect of the lavender promotes the body-mind focus, which plays an important role in creating the changes you want in your body. When warming the Smart Spine for the first time in the microwave, heat for about 30-second intervals to check for the desired temperature, as each microwave might differ a little. Do not exceed 1.5 minutes. Do not exceed 40 seconds for smaller items. Do not heat in the oven, the stove, or convection oven. Do not dry clean or launder. Keep your Smart Spine products dry. The Smart Spine is available without lavender for those who prefer no fragrance. The Smart Spine can also be used as a soothing cold wrap. It may be stored in the freezer compartment, wrapped in plastic. Smart Spine will retain its cold or warm temperatures for a minimum of 30 to 40 minutes. Smart Spine is a green product, not only promoting wellness for your body, but also promoting the wellness of the environment.